I daydream about being a receptionist again sometimes. I say this all the time.
A receptionist?
Oh, I used to be a receptionist. There's no affiliation between the two schools, so I'm actually going to have to drop out of Boston. I'm going to have to go into Cairo and then reapply to get back into the U. You better let me back in. And he was like, well, what are you doing? I didn't tell my parents. I applied. And I was like, let's see if I can get into this, because I had no affiliation with my school.
Yeah.
And then I got a call from my dad's secretary. You're in trouble. And I was like, what did I do this time? And
they called him.
He got the bill before I told him. A job listing as a photographer's agent and a producer. I didn't know what any of those things were, but I read the job description and I went, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. Like within the hour, I had a contract in my inbox. So we went for 40 hours straight.
40 hours?
40 hours. Pooja.
24 hours in a day, you're in 40 hours.
Yeah. We did not stop, she and I, for 40 hours.
Okay.
The location move alone from the Palace Hotel to Burj Khalifa is possibly one of the most, it's right there, but it's like the most complex little location moves on the planet.
Yeah.
We got stuck in the lift in Burj Khalifa, and it was quiet, and it was dark, and it was just so nice to finally shut our eyes and just have this moment that we were like, we can't do this for anybody else. If I did this in New York, I'd have an eating disorder. I'd be getting people coffees for years, and I would probably have a massive complex by the time I kind of get through that to get to where I am now. And he sees this whole thing, and this is when he was, unfortunately, he was at that time in the hospital quite a bit because he was dying of pancreatic cancer. Every nurse and every doctor knew that his daughter was in Vanity Fair, and he was so proud.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he came around.
Yeah. Cancer.
It is. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
No. You okay?
No, I need
a
a second.
It's okay. I'm so sorry, Amin.
No, it's fine.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's all right. Hi, Jolianne.
Hi.
Welcome to the Rice Pudding Project.
Thank you for having me.
So we've known each other for about 15 years, I think. Something along those lines.
Yeah, you
Good.
blink and it's
Time
over,
flies.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. You haven't changed. I've aged, I'd like to say gracefully, but with more color to my hair, and less of the hair. But let's start off by telling the audience what it is you do for the.
I'm the executive producer at Good Stills. We are a film and photography production agency servicing branding and advertising clients here in the UAE as well as throughout the GCC and abroad. And I've been running Good now. She turned 16 next year.
She turned 16?
Yeah. So we've known each other longer. I've been out here for about...
So I've known you longer than 16 years because you were another company before that.
I was,
Yes. And you were working as a producer then?
Yep. I was a producer back at that old company and then...
Doing photography?
We were entirely doing photography at that point.
What inspired you to get into photography?
So it's kind of like this... It's all kind of tied up into my weird Dubai story and how I kind of came out here.
Mm-hmm.
And...
From New York?
From New York, yeah. So
New York or upstate New York?
State New York. So 4 hours out of New York City, 4 hours out of Boston, 4 hours out of Montreal and Toronto. So literally the middle of nowhere. And so I'm quite a long ways from home. But I came out here in 2008 and I was, dating a guy. He got a job out here, thought, okay, I'm going to come out. I'm going to work in news. I'm here in the Middle East. I'd studied Middle Eastern studies. I'd studied journalism. I was working for Al Arabiya when I was living in Washington.
Okay. Was you in DC or?
In DC, yes, exactly. So I was doing kind of like news reporting and production on that side of things. And I was really keen. I loved writing. I loved research. I loved that kind of aspect of things. And I thought, well, I have this opportunity to come out to the Middle East. Dubai was not the place where I thought I was going to end up. And, I'd come out here on like a really brief holiday before I moved out. And I was like, there's no way that I'm going to see myself living in a place like this. Dubai was a very different place than what it is now.
Yeah.
And came out, got onto this new website called Dubizzle. And it's like, wow, they've got all these job listings and all these things. And I interviewed at a couple of different news stations, MSNBC, Al Arabiya, a couple of others. And for a few different reasons, those things didn't work out. But I saw in my searches a job listing as a photographer's agent and a producer.
Okay.
And I didn't know what any of those things were, but I read the job description and I went, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. Like I could do that.
Yeah.
And my mom's a photographer. I've always grown up around cameras in my life. My mother used to work doing photography for kind of marathons, triathlons, Ironmans as well. And I, next to her, used to change her film when that was the thing. It was sewn back in the day, and you kind of process that out and send it into the bins that they had. And then when it went digital, she went, here, take this. And so she gave me an extra camera body, and we used to go kind of all over the US shooting these little marathons and triathlons for like $50 an hour, which when you're a college student is the best thing, right? It pays for more than just your beers on the weekends. So I'm reading this job description. I'm like, well, that's just like babysitting Ma. Like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And so walked in, had this incredible interview. I think we just ended up sitting and talking for like 2 hours, and really connected beautifully with the owner of that company. And within the hour, I had a contract in my inbox, and I was like, this place moves really fast.
Yes.
And I kind of came in and met my now current business partner. It was her first day as well.
Her first day as well?
Yeah, we both joined at exactly the same time. So Pooja's been the longest relationship in my entire life. We've been working together and known each other for almost 20 years.
When you first moved out to Dubai, how long did you think you were going to stay here for?
Everybody has that 3 to 5 timeline, right? Exactly. And so I came out thinking, okay, this is for what it is. This is an opportunity for me to take my career to the next level. Yeah. I can continue to write. I can still kind of continue the research that I'm doing. But what I loved about that agency, and which was so special to me, was that they were also doing editorial content for the New York Times, for Der Spiegel, for The Guardian. Okay. And it was reporting, it was photojournalism throughout the entirety of the Middle East, which meant that in 2006, the crisis in Gaza, I had one of the only photographers that was actually sending images out to press.
Oh, really?
And so it was every morning coming into the office and not knowing if he was okay or if he wasn't. And I would check our FTP and see, okay, the images are there. He's okay. He's able to upload these shots. We had every cover across the world. Like, it was such it was harrowing seeing
the images.
It was really, I still get chills, especially with what's going on now. But having that side of what I was doing also kind of helped me in that way, to kind of feel like I was still staying honest to my journalism roots. And
nice. Did you do photography as well still?
I mean, I shoot for fun. Okay. Funnily enough, I actually have an assignment next week with, there's a photographer who I work with very frequently, Katerina Premfors, who is, closer than family and is incredibly talented at what she does. And we have a project coming up next week where she's the only person that I shoot with.
Okay.
And we were talking about it's for a book project, and I was like, let's get me another body. Let's do it together, and it'll just be fun. And so
it's her book, or
it's for a client.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. And you're going to shoot with her.
Yeah, exactly. And I told the client, I was like, I'm just going to be a second shooter, just see what happens. And yeah.
Bonus material.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then you did that for 3 years, right?
Yeah, about 2.5, almost 3 years. And then
Good was born.
Good was born.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a kind of funny story. So Pooja and myself, so I became the head of production and head of photography, and she was working as a producer, and we were doing the launch campaign for downtown Dubai.
Yeah.
Which was it was a huge campaign. It was going globally. It was Mikael Janssen was the photographer on it, and I was a massive fangirl of his work. He's had every cover of like Numero and W, and like, again, just one of like these kind of hero fashion photographers. Yeah. And I was so excited to work with him. And there was a lot of pressure, I think, within the agency for me to stay in the office, allow Pooja to kind of produce on her own. And I looked at it and I was like, there's no way that one producer can handle this. I need to be there. And so we went for 40 hours straight.
40 hours?
40 hours. Pooja and
That's 24 hours in a day. You went 40 hours.
Yeah. We did not stop, she and I, for 40 hours.
Okay.
And it wasn't that the shoot was misscheduled, anything. It's just there was so much on the production field to do. The location move alone from the Palace Hotel to Burj Khalifa is possibly one of the most, it's right there, but it's like the most complex little location moves on the planet.
Yeah.
And we were so junior at the time. We never came up as PAs, right?
Yeah.
We never learned the system. We were just producers, and we only had our gut.
Yeah.
So our gut was usually good. Our instinct was usually pretty good. And I'm sure if I look back on who those girls were now, I'd be like, God, like, what are you up to? But we went for 40 hours. We got stuck in the lift in Burj Khalifa, going to the last location.
Are you claustrophobic?
No, not at all. Okay. And it was quiet, and it was dark, And it was just so nice to finally shut our eyes and just have this moment. And I think it was in that moment
Yeah.
that we were like, we can't do this for anybody else. We have to do this.
How long were you stuck in the elevator for?
About 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, but that feels like an eternity.
It was great. It was
Really?
Yeah, just like I don't know. I'm not afraid of.
I got stuck in an elevator once, and it was on a school run with 3 other kids and 3 other parents, and it was just.
See, yeah, it's the amount of people. It's who you're stuck in the elevator with.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's just her and me. And honestly, we just needed that cat back.
Kids say the darndest things. They're like, what happens if this doesn't open? What if this just goes down and crashes?
All the voices in the back of your head
Yeah.
just don't have the filter to not do it.
Please be quiet.
Yeah.
Please. Just stop with it. What if the cable isn't strong enough? I'm like, good thinking, but don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
So then you said, okay, we're going to open ourselves.
Yeah, and it was kind of maybe a week later. She was on a train to Amsterdam. I was in a bar. I think it was at Icon. Yeah. Back in the day, and I was kind of scribbling down ideas on a cocktail napkin. She was talking to her friend that she was on the train with, and we both kind of messaged at the same time. Yeah. Let's do this.
Okay.
And we haven't looked back.
Okay, but that's got to be quite ballsy.
Yeah, I think I was 24.
Yeah,
at the time, like
exactly.
That is nuts to me. Like I think of like the guts that took to be like, yeah, I'm going to get a trade license. I'm going to start a company. I didn't realize the option of just going freelance was a thing. Like, because again, I was never trained in what we do. Yeah. We just went by our gut.
Yeah, you went full fledged. You didn't go freelance.
Just
went your time.
Production company. That's it. So, yeah, and you know,
what were some of the obstacles you faced at the beginning?
Gosh, I mean, so many. It was, it was a kind of a growing and younger industry. I think, again, because everything that we did was instinct-based or, we just kind of figured it out as we went. But we were very lucky. We had some great clients that really supported us when we started out. We had great suppliers that supported us when we started out. Everybody was genuinely so happy to support us going through.
I'm just curious, being a woman and being from, because I say what they call the West, was that an obstacle, you think?
Exactly the opposite.
Okay.
We had everything paved the way for us. Okay. I think, like, I'm talking ladies only lines. I'm talking about people who, like, even I think our business license, Shams, they gave us like a ladies discount because we're a female run business.
So a lot of support.
So there's been so much support. I feel like, especially being, and I hate to say this, like, as an American woman, I think that...
Yeah, because the cliche, everyone says, oh, it's, the Middle East, Islam. It's like,
completely. And especially, like, back home, like, everybody's like, Dolly, you're not safe out there. Like, they treat women in a certain way. And I'm like, no, like, it's very much the opposite. I feel like I've been really, really supported out here. And I think, people are like, oh, why Dubai? You could do this in New York and you could be something else. I'm like, I'm sorry, but if I did this in New York, I'd have an eating disorder. I'd be getting people coffees for years, and I would probably have a massive complex by the time I kind of get through that to get to where I am now. And here I am. I'm running, I would like to say, an incredibly successful business that I'm very proud of in a major global city with international recognition. And I think that's fucking great. I can swear. Right?
Yeah, we can swear. Yeah. And you've worked with some great photographers, really, really good.
And filmmakers as well. And so we're going to be going through a bit of a rebrand very soon.
Okay, changing the name or same name or tweaking?
We're up in the stills. We're going to finally be honest with ourselves. And when Good Stills started, it was because I felt like I never wanted to push myself to do something or to say I could do something unless I knew what I was doing.
Okay.
And I thought that there was a lot, and there is so much honor, I think, in being an expert in stills production. Stills production isn't just something that you chuck onto the back end of a film shoot.
Which happens so much. It's so underrated.
It is so...
And overlooked.
It is. And you get, photographers who are trying to like chase the gaffers to make sure that they're not unplugging the lights, and the talent's already back in hair and makeup, and they're not given the time and the space to craft. And you think about... we spent all of this time on this clip in a film that's going to be a second versus something that's on a billboard where everybody sees it, forever or for a couple of months, whatever it is. So I thought that there was good honor in saying, this is what we do and this is what we're really good at. And I was always afraid of film because it's like, you look at it and it's like 75 people on set and it's all this equipment and how do you do it? And I then had the opportunity to work on a couple of short films and saw, okay, not that bad, and this is actually quite fun.
Okay.
And so then off the back of that, was able to say to people, yeah, we can take on a film brief, and it came up more and more. And now I think I might know what I'm doing. Maybe we'll see. But I think now we're just going to drop the stills. So
okay,
We're just good.
All right. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Who's some of the coolest, actually, I mean, you work with a lot of good photographers and filmmakers, but I remember you worked with one photographer that I was just in awe of this guy. I want to say kid, because he was so young.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
What is this? And when I met him, I'm like, dude, you're like, you don't even have a beard, like you have no facial. You're like, you must be like 18 or something like that. And I saw some of his photographs, and I used to like doing photography in art college and things. I was like, oh, I can take a photograph. And then I saw his work. I want to say Joey
Lawrence. He is such a special guy. Such a special guy. I actually saw him a couple of years ago. He was out here in Dubai for a little bit. And he's, started quite young, incredible eye for stuff. His portraiture, in the way he captures people, is just out of this world. And
he captures their soul.
He really does. And he really kind of takes the time with people and the interest in people. And, he's just published an incredible book on different faces throughout Ethiopia with his wife. And there's just it's an incredible study on a beautiful group of people with an incredible diversity. And I think it's just like the way that he lights, the way that he looks at subjects, it's painterly in a way, but he doesn't need much to do it. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, because his work's not over retouched or anything like that. It's it's almost like it's beauty natural.
Exactly. He's an incredible talent. I would die to work with him much, much, much more.
Yeah. He's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. And then, so you grew up in New York. What was that like in upstate New York?
Cold half the year. Where I grew up, it's so the town that I grew up, it's called Barneveld, which has
Barneveld?
Yes, it has the word barn in it, so that kind of gives you a great idea. And then the little city next door is called Utica, which is where famously Stephen King said he used to get all of his ideas as a dig to this kind of small town I'm from.
Isn't Utica a famous university as well? Is it around
Ithaca. There you go.
Sorry,
people mix it up all the time. Right next door.
Okay.
But so kind of where I grew up, it's naturally very beautiful. There's lots of green. There's mountains. There's lakes. There's in the summertime there's nothing better. In the autumn when the leaves change, it's lovely. But Barneveld had 2 bars and a chimney sweep, and that was about it. So I just kind of always knew. And from my mom, she always kind of had this thing that when I went to university, she was like, you can't go anywhere that's 100 miles from here. I was like, I'll beat you to it. I'm going to Boston. I got way out. And it was just kind of wanting to escape that small town kind of a vibe. Like I just felt like it was never for me. I always wanted to get out and to explore the world. And but now going back, I have much more of an appreciation for it now.
So you were a very outdoorsy person growing up?
I mean, you kind of had to be, right? I mean, it's winter. It used to be, in the summer, you're like out on lakes and stuff. We would, travel to, my family had a home in Cape Cod as well that we would go to in the summertime. So yeah, it was before tablets and phones and emails and all of that. So
what did you study in English? You studied journalism?
I studied journalism and Middle Eastern studies.
Middle Eastern studies. Okay. So always there was some kind of inclination that you might come here and visit.
Well, so I was kind of joking around earlier that it all started in 2003 in a French class.
Explain that to me. How?
So I had a French teacher in high school. Her name was Madame Gull. Madame Gull was very French and probably about 5'0", and she, her parents were in the Resistance. And she was the most proud French woman you could ever.
Second World War Resistance.
Yes, very extremely French.
Okay.
And so Madame Gull, I came to her. We would have in my senior year, we had conversational French. We would just sit there and talk with her. And I was saying to her when I went to university, you have to take a language. And I was actually thinking about minoring in French because I loved it so much. And she looked at me dead in the face and she said, "French is a dead language." And I was like, coming from her, I was like, okay, interesting. She goes, "Arabic." And because this is in 2003, all of this stuff is happening in the Middle East, in Iraq and throughout. And she's like, "Arabic is going to be a language that you should learn."
Okay.
And I knew I was going to school for journalism. And I was like, that is not a dumb idea. Okay. And so then I was like, okay, you start to sign up for your classes. And I was like, I'm going to sign up for Arabic, see what that's all about. Mm-hmm. It's hard. I have to take a history class. I signed up for history of the Middle East. I have to take a social science. So I start to take politics in the Middle East. I start to see that I'm going to look at my course load instead of just taking things to tick the boxes. I'm going to create a focus on what this is. And there was no Middle Eastern Studies minor at Boston University at the time.
Okay.
And I was kind of loading this up. You could create your own concentration if you wanted to, is what they called it. And then it came time to kind of study abroad in my junior year. And everybody in the journalism classes, they were all going to England. There was a program where you could actually do, I think it was like one of the magazines, I can't remember which, but you had an internship that was there. You were living in Kensington. It was this whole fabulous, beautiful program.
Yeah.
And signed up for that along with my roommate. And both of us over the summer, we were so excited about it, but then look back and I think, again, one of those things where you're kind of so in sync with somebody, you message at the same time. And I said, I can't continue my Arabic coursework there. And I feel like if I take a whole semester off, it's going to be a loss. And she said, well, I'm not really feeling like going to England either, because she grew up there and she was like, I want to kind of do something a bit different. So she ended up going to Niger and living there for a semester. And I applied to the American University in Cairo.
You went to Egypt?
I didn't tell my parents. I applied. I was like, let's see if I can get into this, because I had no affiliation with my school.
Yeah.
And then I got a call from my dad's secretary, and my dad was an attorney and slightly kind of scary demeanor. And he called me. She said, well, you're in trouble. And I was like, what did I do this time? And
they called him.
He got the bill before I told him that I actually had gotten in. It's like, oh, okay. That's not how I thought I was going to handle it. And so finally got his blessing. I managed to convince him that it was a really, really good idea.
And you went?
To go. And I went to my advisor at the university saying, okay, I'm going to need your help to do this because this is a bit crazy. But there's no affiliation between the two schools. So I'm actually going to have to drop out of Boston. I'm going to have to go into Cairo and then reapply to get back into BU. You better let me back in. And he was like, well, what are you doing? And I showed him everything that I was doing. And he's like, I can't believe that we don't have this as a minor. This is one of the smartest things that our students are doing. He's like, you're focusing everything on trying to actually get a job instead of just having fun. Like, this is great. And I was like, fucking A, like, great. And it all worked out. And so I went.
They let you back in?
Let me back in, graduated. Yeah.
What was it? So you did a semester in Cairo?
Yeah, just a semester in Cairo. So it was about like 6-7 months that I was out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your dad's originally Italian, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did they feel about you coming to the Middle East to study?
So with my father being an attorney taught me from a very young age to negotiate and to come up with a really good case before I came to him with anything. And
what was the case? I'm curious to know how you argue with a lawyer.
You play to the ego a little bit. So we growing up, my parents they had this kind of whirlwind romance when they met and went on this trip to Austria and to Germany together, where they eloped, got married in the mountains, and then ended up on their honeymoon. Well, one person calls that a honeymoon. Apparently it was a business trip to Cairo. And
they went to Cairo.
They went to Cairo. And so growing up, we had all these photos of my mother next to camels and my father kind of dressed, in the Arabic, the traditional Arabic kind of wardrobe, and all of these stories about they were allowed into the Egyptian Museum on a private tour so all of these stories have been things that I've heard. And so I sit down across from my father at lunch and I say, well, sir, I've just always been so inspired by you and these incredible stories.
Genius.
I just thought that, if I'm going to do something, I want to explore the world. I want to push myself to do more than what other students are doing. This is going to give me an edge professionally on everybody and what I'm doing. And he sat there and he took it all in. And of course, he can see me coming for a mile. He's not stupid.
But he liked the way.
Of course he did. Exactly. And he said, all right, I'm going to make a couple of phone calls to a couple of people. I just want to make sure that it's safe. And I was like, okay, you check. And he checked and he said, well, it's also saving me money if you go there. I was like, it's brilliant. There we go. Win for win.
Amazing. That's fantastic. Okay. And then how did they feel about you moving?
So,
because you're a long way away.
Yeah. And I think at this point, I was kind of like, they've already gone through me being a bit nuts and going to Cairo. I had then moved to Washington. They kind of knew I was.
So Washington was only like a couple hours on Amtrak, so it's okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that they knew that I was kind of destined to just go somewhere. And so I it happened rather quickly. And I said, well, there's this opportunity to go to Dubai. And Dubai back then I think the only stuff that people really knew about it was like, I think on the Travel Channel, there was like that rolling, like they had like a mini series on like the Burj Al Arab and how it had like fire and like all that kind of stuff. And so they're like, okay, well, it sounds safe and that's interesting. And my mom always was like, just go out there, see the world, do these crazy things. And my dad was like, oh, I think I know a couple of people maybe who've been there. And he was a bit on the fence about it until one of the first shoots that I produced was for Vanity Fair Germany.
Okay.
And when I came out, I, again, had no idea of what I was doing as a producer. It was a photography spread that we were doing, but for me, it was a big, big deal. Like, I'm like 21.
Of course.
I'm shooting for Vanity Fair. This is nuts. And the shoot was for the launch of MTV Arabia. And so we had, it was a photographer and stylist duo, husband and wife, were wonderfully talented. And they had this idea that they wanted to shoot. One of the images was camels with old TVs strapped to their backs, being led through the desert by a couple of the VJs. And then one of the producers, who is a woman, was going to be sitting on the camel. And they got this incredible Gucci dress that we're going to have, like, you know, it was this very almost like semi-orientalist but artsy kind of spread that they were doing for this image. And it was, okay, like, this is cool. And so we get out to the desert, we've got the camels, we got the TVs, the VJs, and this producer comes in and she sees the outfit and she goes, I have not worn a dress since I was 4 years old and I'm not about to start now. I'm out of here. And I was like,
we can change it.
No, we couldn't, because the stylist, she had only brought the one dress. And I was like trying to negotiate it out. I was trying to figure it out. She had apparently not consulted with her. It was a very deep problem for her, which I think now we're much more understanding of these things. Back then it was just like, oh, she's being difficult. Like, we didn't really kind of understand the nuance of what was going on. And so she walked off set. And then the photographer and the stylist looked at me and went, you want to go? And I was like, oh, like, really?
You went in the dress? You wore the dress? I mean, you wore the dress on the camel.
So they like wrapped up my face, so, like, in this turban, so nobody could see who I was. Popped me on, and like, I'm wearing this Gucci dress on a camel in Vanity Fair. So I tell my dad this story, and I send him a photo. And he sees this whole thing. And this is when he was, unfortunately, he was at that time in the hospital quite a bit because he was dying of pancreatic cancer. And apparently, according to my niece, every nurse and every doctor knew that his daughter was in Vanity Fair, and he was so proud.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he came around. And then he loved that I was out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you passed away here.
Many years ago. So, gosh, if I've been out here for 19, it was 10/9/8. So 2008, he passed away. So it was very shortly after I came out.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but he lived an incredibly long life. He was 76. He was surrounded by the people that he loved. I was there, and it's okay.
Yeah. Cancer's another.
It is. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
No. You okay?
No, I
need
need sick.
It's okay. I'm so sorry, Amin.
No, it's fine.
Oh, dear. I'm so sorry.
No, sorry. No, sorry.
It's nice seeing a man who could show some emotion from time to time.
Yeah.
The people who bottle it up, they have the problem.
This is Jolianne.
Off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry about that.
Business production.
It helps that you have a literal cartoon character that works in your office. So.
How can I imagine? I didn't know that about your dad. I'm sorry. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about afterwards why that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, not interesting.
It's a sore subject. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I get it.
Just new discovery that's going on. My little sister. Yeah. It's okay. She's all right. Well, she's not all right, but it's okay. Okay.
More about me.
Vanity Fair. Let's.
Can we just focus on
Can
me?
we talk about you, please? So shit. You were on the. I said shit. You like amazing. You were in Vanity Fair.
Yeah, you'd never be able to pick me out though.
But see,
yeah.
I'm the the egotistical kind of person. I'd be like, I have now. You didn't tell the people. You didn't I didn't.
I told my family and stuff. I thought it was a riot. But
I would have been all up in that. Like, I'd be like, there would have been like pictures in my office of me and Vanity Fair. I was like, I'm a model.
I don't know. I also get like a bit cringe about it as well because like I don't like. I'm much more of a behind the camera person. I'm not very comfortable in front of camera.
But you could
in the words of Steve McCurry to my face, you're shockingly more. What did he say? You're surprisingly more unphotogenic than I thought you would be.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, Steve McCurry is the guy with I know this sounds so stupid the way I'm going to say it, but he's the guy who took the picture of the girl with the eyes.
Scotty girl.
So, you would be the perfect person with your eyes as well, I would say. And he said that would make me feel a bit sad.
What a story. I was at a master class with him. This is a millennia ago with one of my portrait photographers. And we were so excited because Steve McCurry has come to DIFC and he's doing a master class. And this, again, I rarely pick up my camera, but I'm going to take a couple of personal days. I'm just going to go and do this as a class. Why not?
Yeah.
And it was like a 2-day class. And I was not impressed with the content, to be honest. But at one point we were going to do a photo walk and he was going to show us all the secrets.
Yeah.
His biggest secret is that he shoots on auto. But
say again?
He shoots on automatic.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
He shoots on auto?
He said it in the class. He was like, just pop it on auto. Like, the settings are great. I don't know about his general work if he does it, but he did. It was one of his pointers for the class. But either way, he looks across the room and he says, you are my muse. And I'm like, I'm not here to be on camera. I'm here to learn. And so I think I have my back up against it a little bit. And he has this great trick where he puts if you're shooting outdoors, you put somebody into a doorway that kind of softens the light. Yeah. You kind of get quite close. You focus on the eyes. Here you go. And click, click, click. And so he sets the whole thing up and he's looking at the back of his camera and kind of looking at me and then says, oh, you're very unphotogenic. And I was like, that I'm just going to take that for what it is. And the pictures weren't great, to be honest. So
I'd like to say it was his fault because, he doesn't maybe know how to, but that's...
I have a lot of feelings on the subject. There's more to that story, but I'm going to let it sit there. But
it's funny. So another person told me, so I try, I'm not very good, but Neil is on the show as well. You know him. I'm like, listen, man, how do I, help me take photographs? Because he takes photographs as well. I was like, how do I use this camera? He says the same thing. He says, take the bloody camera, put on the lens.
And go and shoot.
Put on auto and just shoot. That's it. And just then you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And of course, I haven't done it as much as I should, but that's the way. Yeah.
You'll figure it out, and then you'll get curious. Okay, pop it into manual. Okay, what does this button do? What does that?
It's so confusing. Aperture this and then
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I prefer to be behind the camera rather than on it. And there's been a couple of instances where I've ended up kind of standing in for stuff, or somebody saying, "Hey," jokingly, famously at the Atlantis, I am a dolphin scientist in a photo. So we were shooting at the Atlantis. It's one of my favorite all-time clients. We've been working with them for years.
1 second. What's a dolphin scientist?
You will find out.
Okay.
So glad that you've asked. So we're shooting for the Marine Park, and out of the blue, one of these cloud seeding, I don't know what happened, storms comes blowing in out of nowhere. It's the most beautiful day, and then the sky's black, and we're in the middle of shooting dolphins and underwater stuff. We can't shoot. We have to call a weather day on the day, which for me never happens. We religiously check.
But this is force majeure. There's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do about it. Client gets it. We cut a deal with all of the talent saying, hey, we're going to bring all y'all back tomorrow. Once this clears, we'll put this all together. Everybody was having such a good time just playing with dolphins. They were like, we won't charge for it. Don't worry about it. But the photographer, Hybel, who you also know,
it's great.
Very lovely. He says, well, there's this one shot that we can do, which is we've got this dolphin scientist who's somebody who, like a veterinarian, more or less, the people who study them, people who make sure that they're healthy, that they're okay. They have basically a program where kids can go meet the dolphin scientists and they get a little educational behind the scenes tour of how that all works. But because we let all the talent go, except for the one little girl who was supposed to be in that shot, he looks at me and he goes, Jolianne, go be a scientist. And I'm in my head, I'm there's no way this shot's going to end up anywhere because it's such a niche thing.
I'm going to look for this shot now.
Do you know how many times people are on recce at the Atlantis and are hey, and I get WhatsApp messages, is this you? And it's a picture of that. I'm fine.
I'm taking my son to see the dolphins so that I can say, Shiloh, I know this
I'm
person.
a very convincing dolphin scientist. I scienced really hard that day. So yeah, that's the extent of my modeling for you.
I like that though. So that when stuff needs to get done, you do it.
Well, that's the job,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's generally
But
the
there's
job.
times when, like, so the thing about this, like, the thing about rice pudding is, for me, is that you go through hard times in life, things get difficult, right? When that happens, because it happens a lot in productions, because I don't care, but like, no matter how much you plan, something will go, like crazy weather.
Every single time.
What's your mindset in that when shit's starting to hit the fan?
Well, like any normal person, I go cry behind the grips truck. No, I've actually gotten much better about that. So for me, I think at this point, I've been doing this for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
I've seen enough and I've experienced enough, and I am so prepared on like, you think about the problems before they happen and you have an escape plan. You've already got, once you've gotten to the shoot, everything should be so ironed out that when the issues do happen, that you have the time, the space to kind of find those solutions. But so I've got enough confidence in myself to know that my brain is experienced enough and can think around problems enough that I'll figure it out. Or, hey, this is happening. These are the options. As a team, we figure it out between the client, myself, the director. We figure out whatever it needs to be.
Okay.
And that takes a lot of the pressure off. I don't have to have all the answers. I don't have to make all the decisions. I should be able to lead people into a way where we can all make a decision together. And it's just advertising. As long as nobody's hurt, that's the only thing. Like when stuff like that happens, that, yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Did you ever want to not do this anymore? Did things get too crazy, too difficult, like COVID?
I daydream about being a receptionist again sometimes. I say this all the time.
A receptionist.
Oh, I used to be a receptionist at a pest control agency. It was great. The old ladies, yeah.
You skipped that whole part. When was this? Before DC?
In high school or in university? It was in university.
Pest control.
Yeah, FJ Puglisi, pest control. How can I help? Yeah, it was great. You had little old ladies coming in with like Tupperwares with like random bugs they found in their house. They're trying to like figure out what it is. And you'd be like, oh, like that looks gnarly. Let's figure that out.
You don't get like queasy with the stuff?
I mean, they're in a Tupperware. It's a lid.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Roaches and stuff.
I've eaten those recently. And scorpions in Thailand. Great fun. Not as tasty as you think.
I don't think that tasty. But you ate a cockroach?
Yeah. Oh no. Sorry. It was meal bugs. It wasn't a cockroach. It was meal bugs and
What's a meal bug?
they're just like little. They're gross to you. Dude. What doesn't matter which one it is.
I know this is true. This is true. This is true. But so okay. I'm just trying to figure out the mind. The how does that go into your head? You're like, oh, cool. Let me try that.
When you're in a Thailand street market.
I've been to Thailand. I've been to a Thailand street market.
You see the guys.
And I went with a guy, and he was like, "This is street food," and I was like, "Good for you." For me, street food is like McDonald's.
Yeah,
I'll have that. I'm not eating that. I mean,
so
probably just as bad.
Tina and I looked at each other. We're like, "Well, we're here. When in Rome."
Really?
Yeah, 100 baht. Done.
Okay. Well, how is it garnished or prepared?
I think that they're fried. It's basically like a super crispy soft shell crab. That's about it. That's all I can tell you. It's not that bad. I didn't have the tail, though. She had the tail. She didn't like it.
The tail? Okay.
Yeah.
Because soft shell crabs sells it for me.
Yeah.
But then, oh no.
It's kind of the same. It's just exoskeleton.
I'm going to become vegetarian.
Don't make empty threats. You're Iranian.
Exactly.
What are you going to eat?
I'll just be having yogurt all the day.
Yeah.
But no, wow, really? So you had the meal bugs and...
Yeah, crickets I've eaten. We were in Saudi last week, and we had it was hanith, the kind of goat over rice, and I had the eyeballs and the brain as well.
See, you're always braver than me. This goes back to the chicken.
This
goes back to the spicy chicken. Okay. Because I know we talk off camera. I'm going to talk about brains and eyeballs. Wow. Okay. I've had tongue. Okay. And I've had, no, it's not the same thing. Not the same thing. Because
brain is just kind of like a savory custard. It's pretty good.
Did you say savory custard?
Yeah. Texturally.
This is why I don't eat custard. I don't eat rice pudding.
Do you want to continue to have
I don't know.
I think that we've taken out everybody at this.
Maybe. Yeah. But like I said, you're much braver than me because that chicken that you used to make, that that it's like a soup. It was like spicy as hell. And then the temperature was so hot because for some reason you didn't let the chicken rest. You were like, here it is.
It's from oven right into your face.
Yeah. Okay. That is insane.
I like, it's all the senses that you need to appeal to, right? Sight, smell, touch, all of that.
Yeah, but the thing is, when I touched it would burn my fingers, so I couldn't feel my fingers, and then the tongue was no longer
into your memory.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely it's there like that. I'm sweating thinking about that chicken now. It's but the crazy thing is, I know that when it cooled down, it was bloody tasty. But it was just when it was so hot. Okay, what other crazy dishes? What's other crazy?
I think that's all the weird stuff.
Yeah.
I know.
What was? So you said eyeballs is like what then? Because that
eyeballs,
one's like.
Oh, eyeballs are just kind of eyeball-y. I don't know.
Eyeball. You as if I have it with my for breakfast.
Eyeball-y.
Is it like squishy?
No, it's almost it tastes almost like fat in a way, like off of meat, if that makes any sense. Like kind of saying texturally, kind of flavor-wise, kind of.
See, that works for me. Yeah. I'm good with the fat of the.
Yeah.
Okay. But wow,
I'll show you the video later.
I would love to see it. But I'm just like, it's like you have the whole, it was a goat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the whole goat, which is super tasty. You got leg, neck, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Why go to the...
Well, the Saudis that we were with said it was good luck and it was the honor to be offered that. Oh. And it's not the first time I've been offered brain, actually. When were you around when we were shooting the Bedouin camel herder in Abu Dhabi?
I know about the camel gets spur
project.
Yeah, she was awesome.
So Fatima is a very Snapchat and Instagram famous camel herder in Abu Dhabi. She's an outlier for being the UAE's first female, and she's an incredible person. We spent probably about a month with her in Abu Dhabi with Katerina, the photographer I was telling you about earlier. We were working with her for about a month for this project for Abu Dhabi Tourism, and she invited us into her home. We saw the goat walk past the tent and then come out on a plate not too long after. And she, with her beautiful hennaed hands, sat there, on the floor and just chatting away. And she takes the skull and she cracks it in her hands, takes the brain and she offers it to me. And you don't say no to that woman.
No, she just cracked the skull with her bare hands.
Exactly. So you read the room, right? You read the room and walked in and I didn't walk in, just took it from her. And it was actually quite tasty. So I was already primed for this moment in Saudi.
Okay.
And I was like, well, the brain's great, and I've eaten fish eyeballs before, which are excellent.
You've had fish eyeballs?
Yeah.
See, I can't when a fish comes to the table and the head is there, I can't see it. I need to put like a tissue over it. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Delicacies are delicacies for a reason. It's just interesting trying random
I think the strangest thing I ate once, not knowingly, was in Italy, in Sardinia. And we were out and they were like, I was at the time, I think I was doing like Atkins diet. So I was always having meat. And my girlfriend at the time. Huh?
Did you have horse?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. And then they were like, what is this? How do you feel? I'm like, this beef is a little bit chewy. And they were like, oh, it's true. I'm like, it needs a little bit something. It needs some ketchup. It needs something. It needs
to be beef.
Yeah. Exactly. It needs to be beef. And they're like, you like it? I'm like, and they wait until I finished off the whole plate. Okay.
I find that cruel. I would never do that.
And then like, you just had horse. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. And they were like, no, really. And I was like, this is horse meat? Or this was horse meat? And they're like, yeah. I was like, ha.
Yeah, I kind of draw the line at things like that. I stopped eating octopus a while ago.
Why? Because
they're intelligent, like beyond.
They're eight brains, right?
Yeah, they're super smart and they've got feelings and things. Well, I mean, all animals have feelings and things, but yeah, I've just kind of cut off octopus, which is sad because they're so delicious.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
Is calamari kind of like a baby octopus, or
no? That's a squid.
That's a squid. Okay, I don't see how. But because you're a dolphin professor,
I am
so you know,
scientist.
Dolphin scientist. So you're a dolphin scientist. You know these things. I don't
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do dolphins eat?
Fish.
Oh, okay. They're not okay. They're not vegetarians and stuff like that.
No, of course not.
They eat fish.
No, they're very sensible.
Oh, that's
pescatarian, I'd even say.
I would. Very true. They are pescatarians. Wow. If that was like, what a tangent. Okay, I'm
quite the tangent.
Quite the tangent. Yeah. That was.
This is like Odd Foods with Andrew Zimmerman, but
This is. Oh my goodness. I'm a bit.
Yeah. So the dolphin scientist is the one time that I kind of crossed the line into being on the other side of the camera.
Okay.
To seg back.
When you were growing up, who would you say was your role model?
Ooh, well, that's a tricky one. I can't really kind of pinpoint anybody in particular. I think I had lots of really incredible people whose different values I really respected and wanted to kind of emulate. I wouldn't say that there was anybody that I was like, oh, I want to be just like them, or I'm going to model myself after that person. I've always been, I think, quite, some people would say fiercely independent. Some people would say stubborn as fuck. But like, I've always just kind of seen my way of kind of taking the things that I want to do and kind of enjoying the people around me and kind of just trying to surround myself with those good people rather than...
Who calls you stubborn as fuck? What kind of people?
I'm sorry?
Who would call you stubborn as fuck?
I mean, just anybody. And like, I mean, I think people who work with me, I wouldn't say maybe stubborn, but like, I'm very strong-headed. I know where I want to go with things. So
you need that as a owner of a company.
Definitely. Like if I took in everybody's opinions and let them kind of sway, I mean, I do listen to people's opinions. I'm very moved by what people think. And I am always, I always say this to myself. I say this to the girls that work with me. You're never the smartest person in the room, and you should never be.
Yeah.
And you should always listen. You should always take things in. But at the same time, you have to have a drive to kind of cut through that and say, what's honest to me? What's my gut? And where am I going with this? And so I think, I think I've learned that, definitely from my father. He had kind of one way of thinking about things. It was also very kind of strong-headed and very opinionated. And, I kind of picked up that drive, I think, from there.
Okay. Yeah, because if you run the company, you own the company.
Yes,
okay?
I'm a partner.
You're partner, okay. Yeah. But you're the head of like, and if anything goes wrong, it's you. It's not the person who gave you the opinions. It's not the person who gave you the advice.
100%.
You're the one that's in front of the client, in front of the agency, and saying like, "Oh well, sorry, things went wrong. Why? Because so and so suggested this, but why did you not?" So it's your.
But then but also I give myself a break, and I'm the sum of many, many, many parts. But I have put all those people into the room together. I've suggested, the structure in which we're kind of putting all of it, to kind of get the team together and all of that. And I think because production is so collaborative, it should never be on that one person. I also tell because I think a lot of producers feel all of this pressure of, I have to be perfect. I have to be the one who has all the answers. I have to be the one leading the show. And it's like, take that pressure off. We're all here together. We're shooting for a client.
Yeah.
It's what they want. We're working through an agency sometimes. What is it that they see as the vision? We have a director or we have a photographer who also has opinions and ideas and has made decisions along the way. So, production is, I think, fascinating because it's all these little micro decisions and all these ideas from many, many people kind of coming together. The pressure is not, I feel pressure all the time to kind of keep things moving because we're kind of the leaders in finding all the ways of kind of communicating all those ideas and opinions and kind of making it one track. But I've taken it off on me. If stuff goes wrong, we are in it together. It's not all just on me, I think.
And then when you were starting out or throughout your career, what was the best piece of advice you had work-wise?
I would say you're never the smartest person in the room, and always learn from other people. Like we do a lot of servicing jobs. You get some really great EPs that come through here who have incredible ways of working, and I'm learning every time. I work with different people. I work with different directors. I pick up little nuances and little things that I like from their processes and how they kind of look at the work. I learn from stylists. I learn from everybody that were there. So as long as you're open-minded to things and always remember, you don't have the answers to everything. Always listen.
And that would be the same advice you'd give someone wanting to start their own company?
100%. Absolutely. And then the other piece of advice that I've been kind of, there's, your others, which is like, I keep on saying, this is the year of trusting my gut.
2025.
Yeah, absolutely. I spent, I think, a lot of time last year not trusting my gut and listening to things that people told me to do or would not tell me to do, but gave me doubt about some choices that I made or made me think, oh, you don't know film. You don't know, listen to me. Let me show you how to do this. Oh, they were wrong. And I could see it coming. And I was just, this is the year of listen to yourself, trust yourself. And so that's kind of one of my other biggest lessons. And then my other favorite thing that I've come up with this year is this is a yes day.
A yes day.
Today is a yes day. And
Okay, can I have $1 million?
Yes, it'll come at a cost.
Very good.
And that's what a yes day is.
Okay.
So often in production,
Yes.
you are sitting in a meeting with somebody who has maybe been half listening to whatever the brief is. They have no idea. And they come in with what they think is a brilliant idea to either help the production or, it's just like that one little change. Like, we're just going to make this something else. We're going to, instead of a blue chair, it's going to be a red chair. But it turns out that the red chair was symbolic of all this other stuff that kind of comes through, and changing it to changing the color messes up the whole film. So like little things like that, where as producers, because we are creatively involved, or like my team, we're creative producers. I like to think where, we really kind of pride ourselves on thinking about what the creative is. So when you hear stuff like that, where people come in with ideas that are wrong or bad opinions, or you just kind of say, you get this feeling of not anger, but just like the frustration, and then it's not going to work because it's going to have this knockback effect. It's going to cost you this, da, da, da. And so instead of that, which can come out, it sounds quite aggressive and also makes you feel really, really bad on the inside, because we're supposed to be solutions oriented people. Hey, let me get back to you on that. But yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. Make it a yes. Okay. Flip it around. Give it the 10 minutes. Have your feelings. Get that out of your system, and then go back to it. Often in that 10 minutes, whatever it is, they have thought, oh, well, maybe you don't actually need that anymore. You'd be surprised how often that happens. Where in that 10 minutes, it takes the sting out. Or you've been able to come up with a solution. Or you say, actually, that $1 million that you want, 100%, we can absolutely do that. But this is how we're going to have to get to that point.
Okay.
And so instead of saying no, it's a yes, but. And I think for me and my anxiety, and for, kind of having those kinds of feelings that you're not in control anymore, it gives you the control back.
Okay.
And that's great.
All right. I like that you are very independent and very focused, but there must be times when you feel down. Or
Yeah.
Because I find that me personally, when I'm trying to do something, I have this goal, I have to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, whatever, it's competition or comedy or writing. And then there's always a voice that says, like, why?
Well, if we didn't have imposter syndrome, we wouldn't be in this industry, right? So it's like...
How do you deal with it, though?
I think as I'm getting older, it's getting much easier to deal with. But like, I've got friends who say that they could actually like do a diagram of my process and how my brain goes. And so I sign off a job. I'm at the top of the world. I'm excited about it. Everything's open. This is going to be great. I'm so excited. I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to fuck up the whole thing. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I am fucking it up. Oh my, like everything in this, and because I'm a very emotional person, the tears and the thinking, okay, I don't know how I'm going to surmount this. Like the problems are this, the budget is that, the client is asking for all of these crazy things. We have all of these problems. And it, again, these things that we were saying of, it's not just me, but you feel it and it rises in here and it gets out of control. And then you wake up one morning and you say, I am the adult here. I can manage this. And you put yourself into production mode. You put it into a spreadsheet. You put on your big girl pants and you get it done. And then it comes back up again. But I think for me, it's good to feel those feelings and to get it out, but to not let it overwhelm you. And it only comes with age, and it comes with time, and it comes with experience.
Okay. Yeah. Because I find in this field, rejection is... You get more rejections than you get
consistent.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how often I get people saying, oh, and this comes up all the time. Oh, you're 30% more expensive than everybody else. You're more expensive, or you're asking
we love you,
for more
but
you're asking for more time than everybody. We had a couple weeks ago, I think it was like 3 big pitches that we've been working on. I desperately wanted the jobs, not just because money's great, but they were really interesting jobs. And we put a lot of work into those pitches. And, when you lose them, it's like, oh, or it's like clients that we'd worked with before that we really love, and we lose it to another production deal. And it's like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah, how do you deal with the rejection? Because I find for me as a director, you put in effort, you get the treatments. It takes a lot to get.
I think for directors it's much harder.
Yeah.
I think it's much harder because like you're coming up with the ideas, you're putting your babies into it.
But you have a company that you have to pay, you have salaries, you have people. So it's a bigger, I'm just one person. You have a team. You have, much more responsibilities.
It's hard.
So how do you deal with those rejections? Because it'll, like, for me, I can spiral very, very easy. I'm like, what am I doing? Maybe I need to change my
It used to affect me a lot more. And we've had times where, you get a couple of those in a row and you go, okay, I've got mouths to feed. How are we going to do this? But the company's been going for as long as it has, and we have never, we don't pay ourselves a crazy amount. We've got, money in the bank, and we've, through COVID, we didn't fire anybody.
Amazing.
We didn't cut anybody's salaries. We kept everybody going because these are the people that support us, and we'll get through it and the money will come. And every time that we've had a down or like a dry period, like I think it was it beginning of last year, nobody was working. I don't know if it's
summer.
Yes, exactly. So we go through this, we go through drought and famine. And, the other part of, the producer process is, oh my God, I'm so busy. I haven't seen anybody. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. I'm going through all of this and I'm so busy. I haven't worked in ages. Nobody wants to work with me ever again. I'm never going to work again in this town. Maybe I should shut down. Maybe I should go be a receptionist. So it's a cyclical thing. So I think this year we've gone through a bit of up and down. We're on and up again.
Okay.
It will always come back.
Yeah.
The work will come. And if the work's not coming, I need to get my ass out there and find it.
Okay. So just keep on going. You keep on working.
Keep on going.
What's your favorite motto or quote?
Ooh. Trying to think. Oh, I can't think of it. Sorry, it's like one of those things when people say favorites, like, what's your favorite movie? Blank. Never saw a movie in my life. What's your favorite music? I don't listen to music. I don't know. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Favorite quote. No. Somebody once said, I never regret anything because at some point that was exactly what you wanted.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I've always liked that.
Yeah.
And I think about that sometimes, like, you think back on, things that you've done in your past or the person that you used to be in your past. Everybody's, different people at different periods in their life, and kind of have that compassion for that person, that decision in that moment. I think that's an important thing to live by.
Okay. Very nice.
Or my mom always used to say, if you can't run on the heels, don't buy them. And that's good life advice, not just for fashion, but, in life. Stand by your choices. Roll with them.
Okay. I like that. If you can't run the hills, don't. Okay. We have a tradition where we have questions.
Oh.
So in these tins, there are questions. Mm-hmm. You can choose one, and I will read it out to you. And
okay,
you can either answer them or pay me $1 million.
Okay, we'll get to the $1 million. I want that one.
That one there.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, what was one of your favorite jokes growing up?
Oh no, I don't do jokes really. No, I can't. Okay, let's do another one. Sorry.
Yeah, today's a yes day. Yes, we can do that.
But
you need to choose another can.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, let's make it easy for you. That top one right there.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I get for trying to be clever and taking one from the bottom row.
Well, okay. What's the strangest thing you've ever heard in your lifetime?
Ooh.
Or learnt in your lifetime, sorry. Mine will be that you were eating brains and eyeballs.
Strangest thing I've ever heard?
Or learnt in your lifetime.
Learned. Oh gosh. I mean, there's like a lot of like gossip things I can tell you. Did you hear about? No, I can't. Bananas are a berry.
Huh? Banana? No, then. Bananas are a berry?
Yeah.
How is it? Oh, sounds so stupid. Bananas are a berry?
They're a berry. That
is the strangest, weirdest thing ever. I didn't know. I never fit it. Like, if I wasn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, this was the question. I was like, nah, definitely not. But
that's like the only thing I can
trying to justify it. But it grows on a tree.
Branch on a tree.
Yeah, which, I mean, berries do grow on trees, but really?
Yeah.
Okay, that is the...
It's the seeds as well. It's something about like the seeds. Yeah, it's a berry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Very cool. All right. Very nice. Is there anything you want to tell people about yourself, about what's next?
I just like talked an obnoxious amount about myself.
No, no.
No, I think we went into childhood. We haven't gone into trauma yet. Do you want to go into
We can go to trauma. Well, you've had trauma?
Oh, who hasn't?
This is
Exactly.
true. How do you deal with trauma?
I deal with it very differently now, I think.
What stages?
I think, I mean, everybody goes through stages and it kind of depends on what it is. But I think with more self-kindness than what I used to. I think I used to really beat myself up over how I would react to traumatic things or to things that happen badly.
Okay.
I should be bigger than that. I should be able to deal with it. I shouldn't have to let it affect me. And I think now when traumatic or hard or awful things happen, I have a lot more kindness for myself and a lot more patience for myself. I think that's the most important thing that you can give to yourself.
That it takes a while, or it's hard to start to be kind to yourself.
And again, I just attribute this just to getting older. Like I'm 40.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time for games like that with myself anymore. I've only got myself. So what can I do to try to be kind to who that woman is?
Yourself first.
Yeah, exactly. Not at the expense of anybody, but also that I also deserve to be treated as well as I treat other people. So
that's beautiful. That's lovely. And I think that's a great way to end the show. Oh. Jolianne, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
Sorry to gross you out for a minute.
No, the grossing out was interesting.